But the Rock Hill facility, we've really enjoyed meeting Ryan Smith. He's what he's doing in the Charlotte and Rock Hill area is amazing. So Ryan, are you there, bud?
Yeah, man, I'm on.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to be on with us. I know it's getting late for you, but take us through, and Coach Moore, if you have questions too, but take us through the thought process. Maybe just a quick story you had about when you first met Nate, and then how that led to conversations around building out an academy. It's a really cool story, but talks about the family atmosphere.
Yeah, I was part of the Dixie Youth World Series championship team here out of Fort Mill in 2021, and had to teach my son infield from scratch. He was an outfielder. And I was a shortstop in high school, and that was it. I was a college pitcher, not a shortstop. So, how do you teach infield? How do you teach how to properly field a ground ball and not just run, stop, catch, throw? And I started Googling and just finding these Trosky videos everywhere. I was like, oh my, like, why didn't they have YouTube when I was growing up so I could have learned this? And just fell in love with the methodologies, and signed up for a father-son camp in Ojai, California last year. And it's a long story, probably told best over a beer. But I end up arriving late because of a PG tournament in Rock Hill, actually, and get there about 1 a.m. and every light's off except for this one cabin. So I just knock on the door. It's foggy, misty. I'm lost in Ojai. I'm surprised I didn't drive off a cliff. I was telling Greg that story earlier. And I walk in and I knock, and there's Nate. Funnier story there we'll cover later, but he tries to find me and my son somewhere to sleep, and it's like we end up getting stuck in his cabin with his family for 3 days, and I just got to really know Nate and his family at a deeper level, and that was, I would say, that's life-changing for me. I kept in touch with Nate over the years, over the last year, and I opened the Hit Mill actually in September. We are about a mile from Winthrop, which is a D1 baseball program, in an 11,000 square foot warehouse, and actually had Nate out for a private clinic when he was in Charlotte for his first ever Charlotte clinic a few months ago. And through Tony, through Nate, and through actually the Charleston Southern hitting coach, Coach Tuig, who knows Greg, got reconnected with these guys on the academy concept because they knew that I had the facility. And why do this? Why am I so why am I wearing a Trosky hat right now? Because I'm not a Trosky employee, to be fair. I'm Ryan Smith, owner, founder of the Hit Mill, and I work in healthcare during the daytime. But I really love Nate Trosky. I love the way he talks. I love how he teaches the physical game. I love how he teaches the mental game. He's one of the only 6-tool trainers in the world, best infield coach in the world, bar none. And I love his methodologies, right? So if I want my son to grow up in a program, I want it to be a Trosky program. But the other thing is, I just feel like school's so broken. When COVID hit and they said everybody, these kids have to wear face masks and have plexiglass in front of their face, we said no, we're going to homeschool right away. So we've homeschooled for 3 years, and recently sent all of our kids to a private school. And my son will be going to the Trosky Academy in Rock Hill. But I just feel like you should be able to choose where your kids go to school. You should be able to assess the teachers. They should be able to learn in a great environment, and we get to provide all that in one place. So as I step back and think about when I was a kid, or for my kid, who wouldn't want to go to school with all their best friends who are like-minded, who play baseball, and instead of filling all that dead time with movies and miscellaneous things, fill the time of education, which can be done. If for those that have homeschooled, that the actual school time is 2 to 3 hours. You can get everything done in that time, and then use the rest of the time to just be a dude and train and get stronger and bigger. And I told Greg, my vision down the road is 6 months or a year from now, the boys that go to the Trosky Academy in Rock Hill are going to be walking around. People are going to say, who is that? Why are they so different? They're built different. They walk different. They flow different. You've seen guys that have done 5 Trosky camps. They field the ball differently. They got the 3/4 angle, the 3 o'clock angle. They're just smooth as butter. So that's what I want. I want these boys with like minds going to school together, having their own dedicated teacher in a virtual environment. I'm so excited about it. And then we've got something in South Carolina that's applicable here. It's actually called South Carolina Connections. It's free to any South Carolina resident as a virtual school program. And it's not homeschool, it's actually a charter school. So they're eligible to play. And I did see a question from Gage. They're eligible to play for any of their school sports if they want, because it's a charter school put on by the state. So Fort Mill happens to have, where we live, happens to have some of the best schools in South Carolina. I still want my son to be educated here. But we're state champs last year, Catawba Ridge High School. I want my son to have the opportunity to play high school football, basketball, baseball if he chooses. And I've got kids coming to the Trosky Academy here who play basketball and they want to play basketball. They want to play football and they can have all that through that South Carolina Connections option too. So I'm really happy that South Carolina offers that and we're able to work that out. So happy to field questions and whatnot for
Ryan,
folks.
what was it like when you talked to Chase, your little guy, that and told him that this was an option?
He he's like, wait, I get to go to school at a training facility. I get to have the coach we've identified in Rock Hill. They're unbelievable. That what their credentials are out of this world, and he really likes them. So it's hard coaching your own kid. So I send him off to those coaches, and he loves them. So he's like, those are going to be my coaches and my teachers. We have obviously a certified teacher on hand. He's pumped, and some of his really good friends have signed up to go with him. Some of his teammates on his travel team that I coach are going to be going there. So he's fired up because again, it's like, when they do school enrollment and everybody does their messages like, hey, what teacher did you get? Like you hope your friends got the same teacher, right? Well, in this case, of course, they're all going to the same classroom, right? So I mean, that's awesome. I mean, you can't design anything better than that, in my opinion.
We appreciate you doing this and being on and taking questions too. And I still have the map up here, and Greg and Austin, you can attest to this. Same with you, Ryan, that there are Ryan Smiths in every one of these blue boxes. And it is absolutely amazing to meet the passion, the desire, and just the like-minded state that we all have, is that we just want to create something that just works best for the kids. And that's really where we're at. Coach Moore, do you have any questions for Ryan that we might have missed?
Yeah, but I got to compliment him first. When I first got to know Ryan, I kept leaving the conversations going, man, this guy's so smart and he's on a mission. And, players, I know we have a couple on. What motivates us is when we meet guys that are on the same mission we're on. And Ryan and I joked today, we're like, man, I think you might be my best friend. We're talking so much. But I want to reiterate what Matt said about Rock Hill in particular. I mean, he has sacrificed so much to make this go, and that'll be in the book one day, but he's going to make this go. And Matt, you're exactly right. There's a bunch of guys across the country doing it, but I would say Ryan, in a lot of ways, is leading the way on the idea front, the resourcefulness side. So it's gonna flourish there. I can't wait to visit. My son's trying to talk me into moving there.
I don't know what you're waiting for.